welcome to the Charlotte Real Estate Made Simple podcast, where we demystify the real estate process in the Charlotte and surrounding areas. We are Highland Real Estate, and I am the broker in charge and co-owner Cory Warren.
And I'm the marketing director and co-owner Sid Warren. So today we're going to walk you through the home buying process. We have 10 steps. We're going to kind of encapsulate it from beginning to end, and we're going to do our best to give you an idea of what to expect when you go to buy a house.
Okay, so the first thing is an introduction. Sometimes it's going to come through a phone call where somebody responds to some of our marketing. We may just meet you on the street and see that we're realtor. I might have my realtor hat on or something like that, or maybe you send us an email from our website or something like that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get to know you just a little bit over the phone. We know that sometimes people call and they don't have all day to talk, but we just want to sort of make sure that what your interests are, what your needs are. So you're a buyer of real estate. One of the questions we might ask you on the introductory call is, are you pre-qualified? And we're not trying to be offensive or intrusive, but it's very, very important to answer that question because, number one, if that is the first step in buying a new home, after you make a decision, I want to buy a home, the first thing you need to do is get pre-qualified at a bank. And we just came from a seminar, and this particular bank we went to said these days we can pre-qualify in 30 seconds. Now, that's really fast. But most banks can have you pre-qualified within 30 minutes or less to let you know where you're at, that you're good to go as far as the buying process, and they're even going to give you a number that you should be looking towards.
Yeah, and this is really for you because it lets you know what price point that you need to be looking in. And you talked about an example earlier. Do you want to share that again?
Sure. But early in the process of my real estate, I had a client who I asked them if they were pre-qualified, and they said they weren't, but they'll get to it later. They didn't want to rush on that. And I said, okay, well, give me the criteria you're looking for to purchase a house. And they said, well, $250,000 in this area. And I must have showed them 10, 15, maybe 20 houses in the $250,000 price range, and then they really liked one and said, well, we'll go get pre-qualified now, and they pre-qualified for 110, which was very, very uncomfortable for them because they couldn't even make an offer on the house that they wanted, and now they've been looking at houses in the $250,000 price point, and the houses at $110,000 were not the same home that they were looking for before. So it was very uncomfortable, but that could have been headed off right at the beginning if we'd have just discussed that right up front. So as a policy at Highland, we try to do that right away, and if someone isn't pre-qualified, we have recommendations of mortgage brokers that we can send our clients to that make the process very, very easy and enjoyable as far as your banking.
So if you want a recommendation, give us a call and we'll refer you to somebody that we trust. Or, if you want to go ahead and hit the internet, Google pre-qualification, it's probably a couple clicks away, and you can probably do it online.
But we can really, really help people. Sometimes that's what keeps them from buying is I don't know where to do. I don't know which bank to go to. I don't know how the process is going to be. I don't know if I'll pre-qualify. And we have some people that we've come to know and trust over the course of 24 years in the real estate business that we can recommend you to that we know are enjoyable to work with, are professional, and are can-do kind of people that can help you through this process. And we have some clients that come in and for one reason or another, whether it's medical bills or whatever, just aren't pre-qualified yet. But the mortgage brokers we recommend can also advise as far as credit repair, which is an excellent service that doesn't cost you a dime through us, as we can put you in touch with professionals that can help get you to the point of being pre-qualified.
Yeah, so give us a call and we'll hook you up with somebody great. But after this initial call, after this initial contact we have with our buyer clients, we like to meet with them in person and begin our relationship because, the buying process isn't necessarily a super long one, but we do have a lot of contact together. So getting to know each other is really important for our business. And what we like to do is we like to take our clients out to coffee. So it's no pressure. We're just meeting with you, consulting with you, getting to know you, and we buy the coffee. And we can meet wherever you want for that matter. But the goal of this meeting is to discover your needs and goals. Understanding that is really the core of our business, and understanding how we can serve you best helps us design a game plan to go ahead and find you that dream home.
Right. We're here to serve, and we can only serve well if we know what your needs are, and that's what we're very, very interested in. And Sid mentioned that in passing, but we're I think that's a little unique to Highland. We're going to meet you where you want, where it's convenient for you, and we are buying the coffee. I don't care if you want a triple espresso cappuccino latte with caramel and
Yeah, get creative. Get what you want. So
get whatever you want. But we're at this point you're gonna get a feel for who we are, and you're gonna get to know who you're going to be spending the next month or 6 months with in the process of purchasing something that statistically is the biggest investment people make in this country.
Yeah,
and where you're going to raise your family, where you're going to bring your children maybe home from the hospital, where you're going to spend your retirement, or everything in between. It's very, very important, and we take it very important.
Yep. And on top of getting to know you and discovering your needs, if you decide to work with us, which we want to work on your time frame, and usually people are really, really ready to go ahead and get this started. When you make that decision, you just want to charge into this and knock it out. And we're on that same schedule. So when we meet for coffee, we'll bring all the paperwork that is necessary to get started. And it's nothing to be afraid of. We explain right there on the spot exactly what everything means. There's two main forms that we'll go over with you if you want to work with us. One is working with real estate agents. This is required by the commission for us to give to you, whether you're a client or not. First substantial contact, we are required to show this to you. And it just explains our relationship with you. And then there's the buyer's agency agreement, which I'll let you explain.
In the buyer's agency agreement, it just basically spells out our relationship with you and makes everything abundantly clear about the relationship we have as professional consultants and brokers in working with and for you. And it spells out compensation and things like that. So there's no mystery. We believe in absolute transparency. At Highland, as we spoke about last week, we charge zero fee or commission when we work with our buyer clients. So when you come to work with Highland in the pursuit of finding your dream home or your next investment, all of our services to you are free. We don't charge you anything, but we need a buyer's agency agreement so that it's understood that we work for you and we work exclusively for you, because we have access to every property in the system, and we can find you the perfect property of everything that's out there, of all the listings that are available. And the only way we get compensation is if we're legally representing you. And this buyer's agency gives us that legal ability to represent you and your interests. And then when you do eventually buy a property, at the closing table, we are paid a commission by the seller. Even though we're working for the buyer and all of our motivation is for your best interests, we still get paid by the seller, but we can only be paid if we're in a formal relationship with you as buyer's agents, and this agreement secures that. The other thing we do over coffee is, we hit on it just a little bit, is we want to know your criteria. We want to know the location where you want your property. We want to know the square footage. We want to know the features, bedrooms, bathrooms. We want to know how big a yard you want. If it's a commercial property, we need all the dynamics of that. If it's land, how much acreage do you want? Do you want a stream on it? Do you want lakefront property? We ask all of these questions so we begin to know exactly what you're looking for so we can meet that need.
Yep. Once we have that and our relationship is begun, we start doing the fun stuff. We start sending you properties, and we get you on an auto feed, and you start getting an idea of what's on the market. Once you find some houses you like, we show them to you. We can, we fit your schedule. We can get as many in a day as we can. Our goal is to find you that perfect house. And even though the market is a little bit slow right now, just because things are moving so quickly, there's something out there for everybody. And whether you want to ride with us or if you want to ride yourself, we're accommodating. We're all about customer service, and we want to make this is the fun part, going out and seeing houses. It's the part that is the most commercialized and marketed because it's fun and it's exciting. And it's basically like shopping. So
yeah, we may send you 10 or 15 properties through the internet in the form of what's called an MLS sheet, or where it's going to show photographs of the property. Sometimes there's as many as 20 or 30 photographs for you to take a look at. It's going to have all of the information on the property as far as the size. It's going to have, of course, the address and all of the feature, the heating and air system. I mean, the acreage. I mean, the whole 9 yards. And what some people do is they'll look through these 10 or 15, and instantly they're going to throw 10 out. Nah, not right, not right. Don't like the look of it. No. The 5 that are left, sometimes what they'll do, and they don't need to, but some people choose to do this, they'll take a drive, and they'll drive by the property. And they'll say, I like the neighborhood. I like the curb appeal of the house. Yeah, that's great. Or others, we've had clients that have driven by and said, don't even bother showing us that one. We don't like this for whatever reason. And that's fine too. And other times some clients will just say, hey, we want you to just pick some properties that you think we'll like, and let's meet on Saturday at 9, and let's see 4, 6, or 8 properties, and we'll go and take a tour.
It's all up to you. We work around you. And once this part's over, once you find that perfect house, once we help you do that, it's on to the making an offer part. This is where we negotiate. This is where contracts come involved, the offer to purchase. And this is where we really come in, and Cory really utilizes he's been in real estate 24 years. He's our negotiation guy. He's negotiated so many deals that we didn't think would work, and it's saved our clients literally hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah. I mean, negotiation is a skill, and it's something that you learn, and experience really helps. And we've done a lot of studies as well, as far as what works and what doesn't work. And this is one of the areas that we serve our clients is, okay, you want this, we're going to try to work out and negotiate a deal that's very, very best for you, not only with the price but with the terms as well that meet the needs that you're looking for. So once we get things negotiated out, we come to terms between our client, the buyer, and the seller, then we enter into contract. And right after contract, then we enter the next phase, which is due diligence. That's where you have a negotiated period of time. Sometimes it's 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, whatever we determine, whatever you think you need, to really, really look over that property to make sure that there's nothing hidden that you haven't seen, or something that somebody's not aware of that's a problem with the house. It also is a time to firm up your financing. Pre-qualification is not the same as pre-approval. Pre-qualification is just a quick snapshot look that says it looks like everything's fine, but we're going to have to dig in a little bit deeper to make sure that this is all good. But this gives you a window of time to really do your inspections. Now, we always recommend our clients have a termite inspection and just a general home inspection, so that they can look over all the components of the house and, make sure the house may look beautiful. Flowers out front, everything looks great. The inspector goes underneath the house and finds out that there's $30,000 worth of termite and structural damage. And it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't count on that.
Well, that's worst case. We hope that there's nothing wrong.
Yeah, oftentimes it's just, this, light switch or a little ding in the drywall or things like that. Although we have seen inspection reports that are 30 to 50 pages. But we want our buyers to be aware of exactly what they're buying, because most people aren't licensed general contractors. They don't know walking into a house. They're not going to crawl underneath. They're not going to go up into the attic, but you pay somebody to do that so you know what you're buying.
And, when you do have your inspection report and you find something that is wrong, that brings us to the next portion where you request for those repairs. And this is a addendum to the contract. It's added. It's very standard to basically renegotiate with this new knowledge you have. So you get the inspection report and you find a few things that unsettle you. You say, hey, seller, I would like these to be repaired.
Yeah, but I want to make it clear that we're not really looking as an opportunity to renegotiate. We've negotiated fairly up front. The only time we're really going to look at trying to change the contract price is if we discover something that could not have been seen in our initial walkthroughs as a member of the public or as a real estate professional. And even though I'm a licensed general contractor and I can walk through and see some certain things that I'll make aware to my clients, I don't necessarily crawl under the houses and up in the attic myself to see everything. So, it is not, okay, we have an inspection back, let's renegotiate the deal.
Yeah.
Really, that's not something that you want to do unless you discover something that you just weren't aware of that is a major factor that really needs to be addressed.
I agree.
Okay, and the other thing, as far as that due diligence, you do want to have, your bank is going to require an appraisal. It's going to make sure that the house is worth what you're going to pay for it. Sometimes people may say, I love this house, I'd pay anything for it. And, they may say, I want to pay $350,000 for this house, and the appraisal comes back at 325 or 300. Somebody can ask whatever they want for a house, and someone can even be willing to pay it, but a bank is not going to finance that if it's overpriced. And that's another area of protection that the bank puts in place, and we help to safeguard too. And in that case, that would be a renegotiation. You know, we have it under contract for 350. The appraisal comes back at 300. It's like, hey, you don't want to pay more than 300 for that house. So that's not something that happens very much. And you can have a survey too if the boundaries are in question. We always recommend that all these things are done to protect our buyer clients, because that's one of our main obligations.
So once you do your due diligence, if any repairs come up, you address those. Then you go to bank underwriting and final approval. This is basically just the bank going through their paperwork, make sure everything goes through good, and then we go to closing, which is conducted by an attorney, and he puts together all the paperwork, and this is the stressful / exciting day that all this leads up to.
Yeah. Oftentimes we'll be with our buyer clients, and the listing agent will be the seller clients, and we've had deals where folks didn't know each other, and because things were done so honorably and so fairly, we've seen buyers and sellers hugging at the end of a closing after everything's been transacted, and even maintaining a friendship going forward.
It's an exciting thing, and it's really high stress, so when everything goes smoothly, it really brings people together. It's really beautiful to see just the happiness, because the sellers are happy that they've made that step that they decided on, and the buyers are happy that they have a new beautiful home to share their life together.
That's right. It is a culmination of a lot of effort, and that attorney, it's usually at an attorney's office in a conference room, and the attorney will give both sides papers that they need to sign. Everybody will be signing papers, and everything's completed to the satisfaction of the law and the bank or mortgage company. And then the attorney will will go ahead to the courthouse, and he'll record the deed. Once the deed is recorded, that home then is officially the property of the buyer, and they are given the keys to the house, and then there's congratulations and everybody celebrates. So, from the time we first get a phone call, like if the phone rings right now and say, "Hi, this is Cory Warren of Highland Real Estate, how can I help you?" And so I say, "Well, I'm interested in buying a house." Until this point where the attorney hands, or we sometimes get to hand our buyer clients a key to their new home where memories are about to be made, it's a beautiful step, and it's our job to make sure that process is relaxed, is enjoyable, is thorough, that our clients find the right house at the right price, and it's in the condition that they expect it to be in, and have had a joyful experience and have a home that is now in their name, that they can go forth and live the American dream, right?
Yeah. So if you're a buyer, if you're considering real estate, go ahead and get started on step one. Give us a call, and we can get a coffee meeting set up, and I can assure you that it's going to be fun. We'll make it fun for you. Seeing these houses, it's exciting. So don't get too stressed about it. Talk to us first, pick our brains, and you're in good hands with Highland.
That's right. If you're a buyer and you're looking for an agent, let us take you out to coffee, and let's sit down and get to know each other a little bit. You can reach us at highlandrealestate.us, or you can call me on my cell phone, Cory, at 704-477-5423.
Or you can call me, Sid Warren, 704-819-2361.
So thank you for listening to this week's episode of Charlotte Real Estate Made Simple. If you or anyone you know needs advice in real estate, please reach out to us. And if you just have questions, we'd be happy to talk to you and give you any information that you need as well.
Well, thanks for listening.
Yeah, hope you have a great week.